Welcome to this course on the fundamentals of project management, where we'll walk through the essential principles that help teams deliver successful projects consistently. Over the next few slides, I'll introduce core concepts, life cycle stages, planning techniques, resource and risk approaches, communication and stakeholder practices, quality controls, and how to close projects and capture lessons learned. This slide outlines the structure of our session and what to expect. An introduction to project management, the project life cycle and phases, practical planning methods, resource and risk management, communication and stakeholder strategies, quality and performance measurement, and finally project closing with lessons learned to improve future efforts. Let's start with an introduction to project management by looking at what makes a project different from regular work. It's temporary, it has a defined start and finish, and it's focused on creating a specific deliverable while balancing scope, time, cost, and quality. Understanding this framing helps set realistic expectations and align stakeholders from the outset. To understand project management, think about three key ideas. First, a project is a time-bound effort with clear objectives. Second, project management is the structured approach to plan, execute, and close that effort. And third, good project management improves efficiency, mitigates risks, and boosts stakeholder satisfaction so the organization achieves meaningful results. Projects come in many flavors, so it's helpful to categorize them and consider their environments. Some are internal, aimed at improving operations, while others are external and client-facing. Project environments like organizational culture, regulations, resources, and market conditions shape how you tailor methods, tools, and governance to get the best outcomes for each project type. Now we move into the project lifecycle, the roadmap that takes an idea from concept to completion. In the next section, we'll unpack each major phase, explain the purpose and key activities of initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closing, and show how each phase builds on the previous one to keep the project on track. The project lifecycle typically begins with initiation, where purpose, stakeholders, and approvals are defined, then planning, where scope, schedule, and risks are detailed, followed by execution, which coordinates teams and delivers work. Each phase has specific goals and deliverables, and understanding their roles helps you manage transitions and keep momentum toward project success. Monitoring, controlling, and closing are the capstone activities that ensure we deliver what we promised. Monitoring and controlling track progress, manage changes and risks, while closing formalizes acceptance, releases resources, and documents lessons learned. Proper project documentation supports audits, future references, and continuous improvement, so it's essential to treat closing as a disciplined process. With that life cycle in mind, let's focus on project planning, the stage where high-level intent becomes an executable plan. Planning translates objectives into defined scope, schedules, resources, and risk responses, creating a guide that teams follow during execution. Effective planning reduces uncertainty and gives everyone a clear picture of responsibilities and success criteria. Defining project scope starts with a clear scope statement that sets boundaries and deliverables, then a work breakdown structure that breaks the work into manageable pieces for assignment and tracking. Scope creep management is about controlling changes, documenting requests, assessing impacts, and keeping the project aligned with its original objectives to avoid delays and cost overruns. Scheduling and time management bring the plan to life by identifying tasks, estimating durations, sequencing activities, and allocating resources. Tools like Gantt charts visualize timelines and milestones, while the critical path method highlights the sequence of tasks that determine project duration, helping you prioritize activities and manage deadlines to meet project commitments efficiently. Next, we'll explore resource and risk management, two areas that directly affect a project's ability to deliver. Resource management ensures you have the right people, budget, equipment, and technology, while risk management helps you anticipate uncertainties. Balancing both keeps the project resilient and capable of adapting when challenges emerge. Effective resource allocation starts by identifying types of resources, human, financial, material, and technical, and planning their use through techniques like resource leveling and smoothing. Managing constraints means prioritizing tasks, reallocating resources when needed, and making trade-offs to keep the schedule and budget realistic while maximizing productivity and minimizing bottlenecks. Risk identification and mitigation is about spotting potential problems early and deciding how to handle them. A solid risk assessment ranks risks by likelihood and impact. Risk response strategies can avoid, mitigate, transfer, or accept risks, and contingency planning prepares alternatives so the project can keep moving when issues occur, protecting objectives and timelines. Now let's look at communication and stakeholder management, because even the best plan fails without clear information flow and engaged stakeholders. Communication planning and stakeholder management ensure the right people get the right information at the right time, helping build trust, resolve conflicts, and secure the support you need to deliver successfully. Good communication planning starts by recognizing why communication matters: alignment, clarity, and momentum. Then choose channels that fit the audience and message complexity, and develop a communication plan that sets frequency, responsibilities, and formats so information flows smoothly and decisions are supported throughout the project lifecycle. Managing stakeholders requires identifying everyone affected or involved, assessing their interests and influence, and tailoring engagement strategies to keep them informed and supportive. Stakeholder analysis helps prioritize outreach and ongoing engagement. Transparent updates, expectation management, and collaboration keeps stakeholders aligned and reduces surprises as the project progresses. Next, we'll cover quality and performance management, which ensure deliverables meet expectations and the project achieves its intended benefits. Quality practices help prevent defects and improve processes, while performance measurement gives you objective data to track progress and make timely corrective decisions, keeping the project aligned with organizational standards and stakeholder needs. Quality planning and assurance starts by defining standards and acceptance criteria that match stakeholder expectations and regulations. Use quality control tools like cause and effect diagrams, control charts, and Pareto analysis to spot defects and monitor processes, and commit to continuous improvement by collecting feedback and adjusting practices to lift performance over time. Performance measurement gives you the metrics to know how the project is doing. Key performance indicators quantify success in cost, schedule, and quality, while earned value management integrates scope, schedule, and cost to reveal variances early. Regular reporting and feedback close the loop, enabling data-driven decisions and course corrections when performance drifts. Finally, we reach project closing and lessons learned, the stage that turns a completed project into organizational knowledge. Closing is more than handing over deliverables. It's about formal acceptance, final documentation, releasing resources responsibly, and capturing what worked and what didn't so future projects are faster, cheaper, and less risky. Closing processes include obtaining formal deliverable acceptance from stakeholders to confirm objectives were met, consolidating final documentation and records for reference, and releasing resources so people and assets can be reassigned. Treating closure as a formal step helps preserve accountability and supports smooth transitions to operations or the next initiative. A post-project review captures lessons learned, evaluates benefit realization, and transfers knowledge to the broader organization. Lessons learned sessions identify successes and areas for improvement, benefits realization checks outcomes against expectations, and knowledge transfer ensures valuable insights are documented and shared to improve performance in future projects. Thanks for following along through these fundamentals of project management. You now have a concise roadmap from initiation through planning, execution, monitoring, and closing. Put these principles into practice, adapt them to your context, and use the lessons learned cycle to keep improving project delivery and creating value for your organization.